were fabulous. Our bears all were really captive wild bears, correct?
Oh yeah, they had a good year. There was a good food year out in the enclosure, so sometimes getting them to listen was a little tough because they had plenty of food out here in the enclosure, but it was a good year for sure.
Yeah, and I think we did. Sharon, did we ever add up how many behind-the-scene tours we did? You know, I just put that on her, but I would bet you money that we did 6 a day, that we did pretty close to, it'd be about 700 probably, 700 behind-the-scenes programs for the guests that are here. We do thank everybody for being here as guests, too. This is our first event that we do, which is called Live from the NABC, the North American Bear Center that stands for. And right now we're thanking our volunteers, and we're thanking all the folks out there that have helped us. But our intern program this year was phenomenal, too, was it not?
We definitely had many quality interns this year, and it was a really good time seeing them learn and getting to grow some relationships and friendships with those people. They were some pretty special interns this year.
And we had interns from all over the world that were here. We had interns from the UK. We had
two from the UK, one from Georgia. We had two from Michigan, a few from Michigan. So. But we definitely had a good spread from across the United States, and we had two from across the pond. So it was always nice to get a few from that direction as well over here.
They fans?
No, we turned them into Vikings fans. So
yeah. Hardly believe that, but anyway, a much better fan than a fan. I don't think they turned, do you?
Probably not.
Our intern program over the last 3-4 years has been phenomenal. It's been great for a number of years, but we've been just delighted to have the interns that we had. And I got to tell you, they've had some experiences with the bears. And right now, our bears are starting to slow down, aren't they, Sharon? Can't hear you, Roy, over there. Sharon is intently looking for Tasha in case she comes. So if she would happen to come, do you have your sneakers on? The bears are slowing down a lot, though. Right now they're past hyperphagia, and they're moving into their what kind of walk?
It's called fall transition, pre-hibernation.
And fall transition, pre-hibernation means, like my others, we slow down toward winter. Does anybody here slow down toward winter? No, they're not really. Our guests up on the deck are saying they slow down a little bit toward winter, some of them. That tends to be a time of year where I pick up. How about you?
I slow down.
Oh, he slows down too. How about you?
I hibernate.
Okay, I don't hibernate. Winter's my time of the year too. But the North American Bear Center is a nonprofit. We 100% a volunteer program, intern program. We do have staff that are paid, but it's a very small staff. We are not supported by state or federal dollars. We're supported by you folks that are right now and the folks that are watching us worldwide. We tend to work pretty hard toward our bear feeding programs, and all that door comes in when you guys pay your admissions, and when you shop in our store, go toward taking care of the bears in the North American Bear Center. That's what we use that money for. And very little of it goes toward wages or anything like that. So what you're looking at is something that you've helped design. And, of course, it wouldn't be right if we didn't mention Dr. Lynn Rogers, correct?
Correct.
And why is that?
Because he's and he's the reason why all this is here.
And if you take a look, we got his 50 years of research, which has been an exciting one to open this year. It talks about the 50 years plus that he researched black bears up here in the Ely area, correct?
Correct.
What do you think, Sharon? Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct.
And I got to tell you, this guy, has some methodologies that are fabulous. But what's great is we've now got a program that backs that up, don't we?
Yes, we do.
And by putting Dr. Lynn Rogers' 50 years of research on here, we're able to understand how we got to what we're at today, to understand black bears and what they do. It's kind of fun. Has anybody went behind the scenes that are here today? Have you went behind the scenes yet? Okay. So our next behind the scene tour is not that long from now, and we'll be taking you back there. But bear behavior is just a really interesting thing. And have you learned quite a bit since you've been here?
I have been very fortunate. I've got to learn a lot from here from Sharon and a lot here from Dr. Rogers as well.
And what would you say is your most interesting thing that you've learned?
That's a tough question. I think the most interesting part to me is how the Bears, they can remember from year to year which berry patches did the best for them and provided the most amount of food, and they'll remember that from year to year and go back to those same patches to get the most amount of food possible from year to year. Yeah.
It's probably why I remember where my refrigerator is in the house all the time. Not that you can tell, but but anyway, it's amazing. This year was the first year that my wife goes out and she picks berries up here, okay? And she got 2 ice cream buckets full of berries in a very short period of time. She ended up, I think, with 3 ice cream buckets full. Used to be a 5-quart pail, now it's 4-quart pail. But she was able to pick them faster. And that's because we had a great berry crop this year because of the rains we got early and a number of different things. So that kept the bears in the woods for quite a long time. They stay in the woods. And what Spencer was talking about earlier here is in our 2.5-acre enclosure, we've got wild berries that grow. We've got, Sharon, what kind of berries do we have that grow out here?
We have sarsaparilla. We have the wild strawberries, wild raspberries, probably a few blueberry, but the biggest thing is the beaked hazelnut and a bit of the honeysuckle. And let's see, we have some rose hips in here, and I'm forgetting one. It's a white berry and
Service berry?
we have we have one service berry tree, and they get that right away quick. But what we do is in the front of the building we have designed what bears eat, and the bushes and trees are full of usually chokeberry, chokecherry, and service berry, and we pick them for the bears.
And they're all native to up here, correct?
They are.
Okay, so what that tells you is we had a fair amount of berry plants out here. So even these guys supplementing the bears' food were having trouble getting them to eat early on because they had a lot of food out here. Some years it gets very thin and gets tougher, so then the bears start visiting the bear feeders this time of year. They really like to go to bird feeders. Well, we could call them bear feeders, I guess, right? Because they're feeding the bears. So a lot of people tend to take them in now, or they take them in early in the spring to make sure that the bears ain't going after those. But this year we haven't had no problems. I haven't had none at my house yet, neither. So pretty soon here we're going to be standing in some white snow. We've already had a little bit of flurries here about 4 or 5 days ago. So we have experienced our first actual flurries or light snowfall. It wasn't light. There was no accumulation. But I understand Friday is coming up here, and we could get some snow flurries then too. Not unusual. I think the only month up here that there hasn't been snow reported is July. Yes, July. And also I was saying that the last date of snow recorded as far as coming out of the air was May 17th. So we got May 17th to September 29th is all we had this year without some kind of snow coming down in the air or sleet. And gotta love that. Don't you? I love that. I think that's cool. I always look forward to the first flakes.
I look forward to when the lakes ice over, but I'm not a huge fan of the snow part of it.
Oh, that's right. You're a nice fisherman, aren't you? But, you know, Live at the NABC is one of the events that we really enjoy, but it saddens us, too, because ultimately it means that the Bear Center is getting closer and closer to going to sleep for the season. When the Bears go to sleep, we go to sleep. And that's because folks like to come in and see bears. And we like to show you bears. But they go to sleep. And they don't hibernate completely. They move around. They don't take melatonin or anything, right?
No, they move around. They'll recreate their nests. And this year we have how together, so they'll be stealing each other's straw and whatever else they can steal from each other. And then we have our sweet Tasha, who has decided to den in the same den she did in 2017. And she is currently decorating it with leaves, ferns. She's got some twigs back there.
Staying in the Ted Chalet, right? His old little house there?
Yes, some folks took a picture snapshot or whatever they call it, of him checking out his roof, I guess, and underneath to make sure the foundation is all set for him to hibernate. So we'll be giving him some straw real quick here.
So Ted is a building inspector. He's looking to make sure his property is safe for him before he goes to sleep. You know, and one of the watches when they slow down, I mean, it is amazing how long they'll take to get from here to that scale over there. It takes some time. They move slow. They get lethargic. Time to sleep. You'll see them yawning a lot. Anybody experience yawning ever out there? And the more they yawn, the slower they walk. Pretty soon they don't come out. They don't come out of their day. Holly gets red eyes. I never noticed that before. Bloodshot eyes. That must mean she's really tired. But she tends to be our feistiest bear. She's challenged me over the last few years when I've tried to put den cams in to watch her while she's trying to sleep. And every time she hears me, she rips them apart. And I think that I'm losing that battle. If I remember, the score is not in my favor at all. But I can no sooner get by her and she's looking out the den, looking at me, and the minute I'm past, she's at it. She's going at it again. But when the bears slow down, the Bear Center slows down. So I think after October 23rd, 22nd area, we are closed for the season. And that's coming up real quick, and it's a sad time because our volunteers, we just had one of our volunteers that's a phenomenal full-time volunteer here, and she left, and I said, oh, sad day going on here, because that's when we start to really see the slowdown. We've had interns leave. We've got some fabulous bear educators, and Jack, one of our interns, is still here right now. But thank you so much out there for all your volunteer hours you've given this year. It's been just fabulous. And we look forward to the next 3 live broadcasts on Wednesdays live at 1 o'clock. And we're going to stand out here while weather permits. Even if it don't permit, I might stand out here because it's kind of fun. If it's snowing hard, I'm out here. I'm all over it. If it's raining, I don't know. We'll see. But if I'm going to be out here and I'm going to be wet, I'm going to have company. Why not, right?
Right.
He's just giving me one-word answers. What do you think? Every time I ask him, yeah. I know he's got more vocabulary, and he's like, well, what are we going to talk about? I said, not going to tell you. And part of the fun with Petey is, Spencer is his real name, but he goes by Petey, is the fact that, you know what? He just got engaged a little while back. Isn't that cool? He got engaged how long ago?
About a month now.
About a month now. And I can't even get you read about that. But everybody out here wants to say congratulations. He's got a gal that he proposed to on a cliff overlooking the city of Ely across from Shagwa Lake. So if you look across from the Grand Ely Lake, way up on a cliff that he brought her up to and proposed. Am I correct?
You are correct.
So now you know why you're out here. But it's exciting for us to see, you know, his life moving forward in the way that he chooses. And the same thing goes with his career as far as being a biologist. You went to school up here a little bit, too, for that, didn't you?
I did 2 years at the community college here in Ely.
And all that 2 years, you didn't get a haircut because it was expensive, right?
Yeah, you know, when you're a college student, you're low on funds, so.
Macaroni and cheese and we didn't have ramen noodles back when I was going to school. It was macaroni and cheese, Kraft. Not, unless they had the off-brand, that was even cheaper. Oh, yeah. But we are excited to have him here. I know Dr. Lynn Rogers is too. We pick on him a little bit, have fun with him, but he's been with us just about a year now. Coming up real soon.
Yeah, a year on October 3rd, so.
And is there anybody out there you want to say hi to?
Yeah, my fiance, Karina, if you're watching. How's it going? I will see you later tonight.
He wants to tell you he loves you. But I thought I'd throw that in. But anyway, you know, long story short, we are broadcasting live across the United States and the world, okay? And we really do have a big crowd that follows us across the world. And the fun thing is we've got so much admiration for these people out there that have helped us over the years and brought the Bear Center to where it is today, that it wouldn't be right if we didn't say thanks to all you out there, thanks to all our volunteers. And I couldn't even begin to name all of you. I mean, I could, but I would miss somebody. But you know who you are. You know how much you've contributed. And every little bit helps. We've always got volunteer positions open for you guys up there that want to volunteer. I can see it. I can see you want to volunteer. They're shaking their heads. Well, not really, but but the bottom line is for the Bear Centers, we can't do it without you. And we can't do it without the interns, the bear educators, Sharon. You know, she would tell you the same thing. I know Judy would tell you the same thing, our director of education, who does a phenomenal job. Petey, who got, how many groups in here this year did we have? Groups.
We're sitting at 72 right now.
With a goal of?
90.
Okay, that's a goal at 90, but we're 72. Last year we had 42. So if any of you guys out there that are here at the Bear Center today know of groups that want to come here, school groups, we do a lot of different programs here. Have a ball with that, don't we?
Yes, we do. And it's not just school groups. We'll do any kind of group, really. Church group, school group, youth group, anything, really. If you want to bring your group here, learn about some bears, we're happy to help.
Okay. But with that, we want to say thanks again. And is there anything you want to mention to any of the groups out there? Our interns, I didn't get to say goodbye to some of them, but I say thank you. I'm hearing some noise right now, some kind of a beeper going off. So I think that's calling me to go check something. Oh, I guess it's the national warning.
Yeah, it is.
We're getting a national warning on our cell phone. I shut my cell phone off. So see.
I did.
Am I going to get warned if I shut it off? Oh, no. But anyway, we want to say thank you, and thanks to everybody out there, and thanks for the folks today. I'm sorry if we took a little bit of your viewing time up here, but I think we made it safe without Tasha coming, huh? So I think we're going to exit while we can. We will see you next Wednesday for Live at the NABC at 1 o'clock, and we're going to have a special guest on. And we ask you to tune in. For those of you folks here that want to watch it, it's on www.bear.org, right?
You betcha.
You betcha.
You betcha, bud.
Yeah, sure. But anyway, thanks so much for being here, and signing out. Thanks, World Wide Web. Bye now.